Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Okay, so we have come to the 17th chapter. Okay, let's see. Okay. So we saw the tapas, various forms of the tapas, manasam, kayikam, vacham, okay, done by the body, mind, words, verbal. Now he is looking at sattva, rajas, tamas in each of them. Therefore he says, Shraddhaya paraya taptam tapas trividam narehi afalakankshi bhiryuktehi satvikam parichakshate. For that tapas, either one of them or all three, okay, which is done afalakankshibhi, without desiring the result. So why am I doing it? Whenever you get an expression in the Gita like that, without desiring results, etc., you have to understand it is karma yoga buddhi, ishwararpanam prasada buddhi. Whatever result comes, I will gladly accept it. So even with respect to your worship, your spiritual sadhana, your tapas, etc., you need to have the same karma yoga buddhi. Then it becomes satvik, satvikam phalam parichakshate. Okay. Then what is rajasic tapas? Okay. Sat karma mana pujartam tapo dambena chaivayat kriyate tadiha prokta rajasam cha phalam adhru. Satkara mana pujartam tapaha. That tapas which is done for satkaraha, for gaining respect, manam, worship from people, etc. Pujartam. They think, oh, you are a great tapasvi, etc. That tapas, or dambena as a front you are doing it. That tapas is said to be rajasam. Cha alam dhruvam is not enough. The result will not be lasting. Okay, at the risk of sounding a bit non-political, I have to point out something. There is a community in Bombay which does a lot of fasting, tapas, great tapas. 1 week tapas, they will fast. Don't you eat? Nothing they will take except water. And that also only between sunrise and sunset. Night they don't take. Only warm water they will drink. Great tapas. There are some who will keep it for a month. Great. Now if they are doing it quietly as Ishwararpanam, as something that is meant to be done, because I want to grow as a person, my will, etc., I am making it as an offering to Ishvara, and I do it, it will become satvikam. But do you know how the fast is broken? How do you break fast? You break fast? Not break fast, okay? How do you break a fast? You break a fast by taking something simple, easy to digest. Take some soup, take some fruit, some buttermilk, start. In this, many of the naturopathy centers, etc., they will give you some dates. Why? Because it gives you good energy. At the same time, there is a lot of fiber. So it starts the peristaltic movement, etc., which in 1 week of not eating it practically closed down, or at least slowed down. So these type of things, okay? Yeah. So this is how you break a fast. But no, here the person who has fasted, generally a woman, all nicely dressed up and sitting with 2-3 moong dal, tur dal, etc. Thin watery dal kept in bowls. So people will come, namaskaraha, then offer her a small gift or a shawl or something, and feed her 1 spoon or whatever. It goes on throughout the day, okay? For hours it goes on. Satkaraha, satkaraha, mana pujartham. It has become organized. And those who have fasted for a month, etc., evening there is a procession of it. Okay, you are taken around in a chariot all around the town. Now, if you are doing it and this happens because of a social custom, cultural custom, that's fine. But if you are doing it so that you will get the satkara, people will say you are a great tapasvi, Rajasam tapaha. Nothing wrong, some benefit will be there. Better than doing a wrong thing, but that's all. Nothing great will happen, your growth, etc. will not happen. Because you did it for this. And then it will become like a competition, you know. Who got greater manam, who got greater. That's not what tapas is meant for. Tapas is meant for your growth. Okay. Whether it's kayikam, manasam or vachikam. Kayikam, vachikam, manasam. It is meant for your growth, it is not meant for anything else. Satkara, puja, etc. is not for tapas. That you can keep for other things. Okay. Yeah. All right. Then, Moodagrahena atmana yat pidaya kriyate tapaha. Moodagrahena, some wrong thinking, I should do this, I should do that. Or out of great trouble. Tapaha. Or parasya utsadanartham, to destroy somebody else. Tat tamasam udartha. What do you mean destroy somebody else? There are mantras like that. You chant it for someone's destruction. They are meant only to be used in war and things like that. Okay. But people do it. What's the fun? You're becoming what? You're religiously killing somebody. Yeah? What's the difference between you and a rioter then? Someone who goes and has riots? There's no difference between that. Just because you did it quietly, stealthily, that's it. This reminds me of a story Swami Chinmayanji used to say. You know, this making tapas competitive is the worst thing. That's also the tamasic. It's like American habit. They take anything and make it competitive. They'll take yoga and make it competitive. Who held the pose for a longer time? Yoga is not meant for competition. Even olden days, even martial arts was not meant for competition. This is that westernized thinking, American thinking. Take anything and make a competition out of it to improve your functioning. Olden days, martial arts was either used for war or for spiritual growth. Therefore, they never had competition because the art is deadly. People can die. So then you tone it down, make it competition friendly, etc. Then the art is lost. Why? Because you can't use it in battle then. Because you used it only in competition. Yeah. You used it only in competition. And in a real fight it will become difficult. Yeah. But you have to train. Therefore, certain things are not meant for competition. Definitely not tapas. So as Swami Chinmayanji used to say, there is a story of these two youngsters. Okay, two youngsters doing tapas, competing with each other. For years of tapas they did, Bhagwan comes in front of them. So he goes to one person, says, Beta, your tapas is successful. Ask and you shall receive. The guy thinks, मैं क्या पूछूं? Says Bhagwan, can you go to the other guy and ask him first? Okay, fine. Bhagwan understands what he says, okay. He gives some leeway anyway. Okay, beta, I have come. What do you want? Says Bhagwan, this is a bit difficult. What did that guy say? That guy said to ask you first. No, can you ask? See, I don't have time to waste. Ask what you want. So the guy thought, what can I ask for? Because whatever I ask for, the guy may surpass it. Then what do I do? He said, Bhagwan, this is what I am asking for. Give me double of whatever you give him. Safe. Bhagwan said, Tatastu, so be it. He went to the other guy. Okay, what do you want? Bhagwan, what did he say? He said to give him double of whatever you ask for. Oh my God. Then this youngster is in a thought, no. Whatever I ask, that guy will get double. Now what do I ask? Positively it won't work. Let me go negative. Oh Bhagwan, make me blind in one eye. So this guy becomes blind in one eye, that guy loses sight in both the eyes. Tapasa phalam. What type of tapas is that? What have you gained by it? Yeah. You are better off before doing the tapas. At least both of you could see properly. Now one is one-eyed and the other is blind in both the eye. Kim praptam maya. What have you gained by that tapas? Tamasic. Tamasic tapas and over-competitiveness is also tamasic. Okay, it goes like this. Okay. Therefore, This is as far as tapas is concerned, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. This is applicable right across for tapas that you do with your body, which we had described earlier. Tapas you do with words, etc., swadhyaya, etc., purely mental, japa, dhyanam, etc. All of them, the same principle is applied. Sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. Therefore, anything actually, even it is tamasic or rajasic, you put Ishvara Arpanam and Prasada Buddhi into it, it automatically becomes more sattvic. So that is the thing that you aim for. Then after that, what is he taking? Dhanam, sharing. The culture of sharing is important. Okay. Datavyamiti yad dhanam diyete anupakarine desha kalecha patrecha tad dhanam sattvikam smritam. Datavyamiti dhanam. It is given for me to share. Hey, the Lord has given me. I will share it with people who don't have it. It may be my knowledge, it may be my wealth, it may be my time, it may be my skill, whatever. Datavyamiti yad dhanam. Like look at Shravani here. She's a professional, she charges for what she sings. But there will be some place where she'll go and sing. Why? Hey, this is my offering. Datavyamiti. Why? I have the skill, I am offering it. Sattvikam. You know, there's a temple called Chidambaram in the south of India, Shiva temple. And Shiva is a Natarajaha, therefore the Lord of all the arts. Performing arts, singing arts, martial arts, everything. So on Shivratri day, you used to see all the big names in the country. Names there were who charge so much you can't afford to have them for a program. They are professionals. But on that day, they will go and offer their art free of cost in the temple. The temple can't afford to give them anything. They don't expecting anything also. Shivratri day, this is my offering to the Lord. My art, my Datavyamiti yad dhanam. Diyate anupakarane. Whether that person can help you in anything or not. He may not be able to do anything for you. But I give because I have. That is it. Desha kalecha patre. Looking at a good time, place, etc. This is the old ways of looking at, seeing whether the place that your person or organization you are giving that money to is going to use it properly. The modern days we have our own ways of monitoring. Olden days they would say this, Desha kalam patram cha. Deshaha. When you go to a sacred place like Rishikesh, Haridwar, etc. Sacred place. There are a lot of tapasvis there. Give them some help. Good time. Hey, Ekadashi, everyone is fasting. Therefore, Dwadashi. Annadanam, good for Annadanam, etc. Patram, the person. Okay. Say young sadhu, he is living on Bhiksha and he is studying from the various masters available. Good person to be giving some dhanam to. Why? Because he is keeping his body and soul together by what he receives as Bhiksha. Because all his time goes in learning. He is a future teacher of this discipline. Therefore, support him. It's good for the whole country if you support him. Therefore, Desha Kala Patram Cha. Even organization wise. Some organization are working with street children or women empowerment, etc. Therefore, you check up all these things and then you give to the right place. That is called Sattvikam Dhanam. And given, it is given, okay? Not mine anymore. Even in our Vedic ritual, this is what is said. Idam Narayanaya Arpitam, Idam Namamaha, Idam Dattam Maya, Idam Namamaha. This is given by me, it is not mine anymore. It was given. Let the person do what they want with it. But you have checked up before whether the right place, right people, right time, etc. Then give it. Yeah. Then this is Tatvikam Dhanam. And what is Rajasikam Dhanam? Yat prati upakarartham phalam uddishya va puna diyeche cha parikrishtam cha tad dhanam rajasam smritam. Yattu prati upakarartham. I am doing a favor because I know it will come back to me. This is like building up your favor bank in corporates. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. But it's Rajasam. Phalamuddishya puna, or giving a gift knowing that he will be obligated to me. He will respond positively when I ask him for what I need. Favor bank. This is favor bank. Corporate gifting, etc. This is all meant like that. Okay? Yeah. Lot of corporates support political parties also. Across the board they will support. Why? Who knows who is going to come in the next elections? सबको खुश रखो, फायदा में हो जाएगा. Okay. Rajasam dhanam it is. और दिए चेत परिक्लिष्टम. Say headache यार, अभी क्या करूं? It's my relative's son's marriage. I have to go and give a gift. This month was difficult, lot of expenses, but you can't postpone giving because marriage is this month. अभी क्या करेगा? Headache है. With that attitude, when you are giving, it's a headache. Or I give a coin to a beggar because he is harassing me. Come on. So give him and get rid of him. Pariklishtam cha. Tad dhanam rajasam smatam. That's rajasic dhanam. See, some good will come out of it. Why? Because the people are benefited. You give it to an organization or someone, they benefit from it. Your motivation may be different. Your motivation may be you want your name and fame, etc. Okay? But the organization grows, they benefit and they can achieve some good work that they are doing. So fine. Okay. Now, okay, let me complete this. Adesha kale yad dhanam apatre bhiyascha diyate asat kritam avajnatam tat tamasam udahritam. Adesha kale, not bothering about time, place, circumstances, etc. Yad dhanam apatre bhiya, like giving money to a drunkard. What will happen? He'll make a beeline for the local tadi madi shop or kalla shop as they'll call in Kerala. Okay. Yeah, why? Because that's what he is. You're not helping him. By giving that money for drinking, you're not giving him any help. Yeah. It's not working out for him. Okay. Or askrit kritam, give not disrespect. Kya karo, mera sir khata hai yaar, de de kuch. That type of attitude, avajnatam, disrespectfully, and without any courtesy. Tat tamasam udahritam. That's, when you give, like I raise funds for my teacher for 20 years in Bombay. I mean, I used to give everything I collected to Swamiji. Everything. There were times when I didn't have money to take a cab to go from Churchgate to Mantralaya or Nariman Point or Cup Parade or something. I had to wait on a bus or walk it up. And my attitude was, I can do only this much, I couldn't do more. I wish I could do more. Though he had a lot of industrialists, etc., also supporting me. And I used to collect funds from them. But the attitude was, hey, I wish I could do more. Yeah. Kriyadeyam, Bhiyadeyam, Shriyadeyam. This is a Vedic vachanam for it. Give with a sense of, hey, I can do only this. With Shri. Hey, I hope he can take it well. That Bhi meaning not exactly fear, but hey, will he take it grace? Will he accept it nicely? Will it work for him? And the receiver also should be like that. Sab jana ke deta hai, it's my right. No. In fact, even my volunteer group, some of them will be upset with me. Because when a student comes and offers something for the ashram, I always check up with them. Hey, are you sure you can afford to give this much? Why? Because students sometimes enthusiastically may promise and give more than they can afford. I'm not here to grab. No. The giver has to have that attitude. I'm giving it to the Lord. The receiver has the attitude that the Lord is giving it to me. Ishvara. Yeah. Bhikari sare dunya, data ek ram. Therefore, the Lord is giving. I take it humbly. I receive it. And in that type of receiving, there is a giving. The giver also feels happy. The receiver also feels happy. So by receiving, you are giving. Why? Because the person is happy. There is a joy of giving. Yeah. And giving, of course, there is giving because there is a joy in giving. And the people are benefited. That makes it sattvic. That makes it sattvic. Okay? To have that attitude of graciousness. Not headache hai yaar, sir khate, get rid of him by giving him something. No. Have that sacred attitude when you give. And even the Veda says this, Swamiji, how if I don't feel like giving, what do I do? If you don't feel like giving and you're waiting to feel like giving, you will wait all your life. Nothing will happen. So the Veda says, Adanena, Danena Adanam Tara. Your feeling of Adanam, not giving, Danena Tara. Cross it by giving. When you give, you see the joy of giving. And when you experience the joy of giving, you will want to give. But keep it with what is capable. Desha, Kala, Patra, also keep all that in mind and then give. Then you will be fine. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Yaddanam. Okay. Avajnatam. Tat tamasam. Otherwise it becomes tamasam dhanam. It doesn't help anyone. See, dhanam as dhanam will help everyone. Whatever attitude you give it, if the organization or the setup is doing good work, they will be helped. But you won't grow. So if you have to grow, you have to have the right attitude for it. Without the right attitude, sharing, etc., the growth is limited. Some growth will happen because you are opening up your heart willy-nilly, but you are opening. Okay. I'm not very happy about it, but still you are opening it up. No? So some effect will be there, but not more than that. Okay. So when you give it Shraddha, etc., then the whole thing is different. Then you grow. You open up your heart to embrace the whole world in it. Okay. Once you have achieved something, the next stage of growth is the giver. My teacher used to say, from a consumer, become a giver. Yeah. I would say between consumer and giving, there is a stage of being an achiever. You achieve certain things. And once you have achieved certain things, you will find it in your heart to give. In that field, whatever you can manage to give. Okay. Then after having said all this, he is tackling what seems to be completely disconnected. It is not disconnected. It is connected. You must have heard Om Tat Saditi, and I also use it. At the end of a class, I always say Om Tat Sat. What is the meaning of that? Nobody has asked me. Okay, so up to now I have kept quiet. Nobody has asked me why I say Om Tat Sat. Normally people will say some verse or something, but I make it short and I say Om Tat Sat. Why? Here, this is the reason. Okay. Om Tat Sat iti nirdeshaha brahmana trivida smrita brahmanaha tena vedasya yajna savita puram. Om Tat Sat iti nirdeshaha. This was the teaching, this was the adesha, this was the words uttered. By whom? Brahman, the creator. Trivida smrita, and threefold words were uttered. And what happened when he uttered these three words? Brahmanaha tena veda, all the Brahmana, meaning the four castes, people, all people. Vedasya, the Veda, Rig, Yajus, Samas, all knowledge. Yajnas, all the Kriyas. Karma, secular, everything. Vihitaha, Pura, all manifested itself. That means for Ishvara, what was necessary was only Om Tat Sat, and the whole creation complete. Whole creation is complete. What do you mean? Actually, even words are not necessary. There is nothing outside Ishvara, everything is within Ishvara. So if everything is within Ishvara, Ishvara's thoughts make up the universe. Like when you dream, how do you dream? First you create the sky, then you create earth, then you create people, then you create buildings. Is that what? Or at one stroke the dream is on? You find yourself in the dream, everything is happening. Same way. To think, as far as Ishvara is concerned, to think is to create. For you and me, we have to create twice. Once conceptually here, then physically outside. But since inside, outside is not there for Ishvara, to think is to be, to think is to do, to think is to create. Therefore, his thoughts were enough. It is not that first day he created, the second day he created, third day, fourth day, fifth day, and then the last day he found everything all too dark. Therefore, he said, let there be light, and there was light. Hey. And how was first day, second day, third day possible? Yeah. Therefore, it's on. To think is to create, it's on. Therefore, Om Tat Saditi. He uttered this and the whole creation is done. Therefore, they become sacred. Okay. All right. Let us see the meaning of each one of those words. Om Tat Saditi Udahritya. By saying Om. Om Tasmad Om iti Udahritya. By saying Om, Yajna Dan Tapa Kriyaha Pravartante Vidana Uktaha Satatam Brahmavadinam. The Brahmavadinam, people who know Brahman, experts in the Veda, those who know the reality, you can take that also. What do they do? Om Ityeta Udahritya. By chanting Om first. Yajna Dana Tapa Kriyaha. Whether it's a Yajna, Dana, Tapas, or any other Kriya. Okay? Pravartante Vidana Uktaha. According to the Vidhi, they will do Satatam Brahmavadinam. Why? Because by Om you are invoking Ishvara before an action. Ishvara Arpanam automatically is happening. Why? I have said this before, we all know it. Om is the word for Ishvara. Why? Because all forms are his forms. Ishvara has manifested the whole universe. So which word are you going to use? Any word will refer to one form alone, leave other things out. Therefore, it will be an incomplete word. Any word you use for Ishvara will be incomplete. And you can't spend time to use all the words also, not possible. Like somebody said, if all the oceans were the ink and all the trees were made into pens, I will still not be able to list all the glories of the Lord. Correct? Not be possible. But the rishis, they made it possible. How did they do it? Simple. All forms are nothing but words. All words are nothing but sound. For a human being, all sounds from the gullet to the lips. First sound, ah. Gullet, ah. Final sound, close your mouth and make a noise. In between an oot represents all the sounds in between. A, U, When they coalesce together phonetically, not by Sandhi rules, etc. All Sandhi rules are based on phonetics. Therefore, when they coalesce together phonetically, A, U, becomes Om, stands for Ishvara. Therefore, by saying Om, you are invoking Ishvara before any karma. At the end also, you are offering everything to Ishvara, Om. And what about the reality? The silence from where the Om is chanted, the silence into which the Om is resolved, that stands for Nirguna Brahman. Saguna Brahman by Om, Nirguna Brahman by the silence. Everything is covered. What is not covered? That's why Om was always verbal, not written down. Okay? Don't make the symbols, etc. Om. Okay? Therefore, Om indicated you are offering everything to Ishvara, Yajna, Dana, Tapa, Kriyaha, etc. Okay, that's fine for Om. What about Tat? What about Tat? Tat is the same. What is it? Tad iti anisambandhaya phalam yajna tapa kriyaha dana kriyascha vividaha kriyante moksha kangshabhihi. Moksha kangshabhihi, those who are desirous of moksha. Tad iti, by saying tad. Anabhisandhaya phalam, without longing for the result. Meaning, with karma yoga buddhya, ishvara arpana buddhya cha, yajna dana tapa kriya. With karma yoga buddhi, you are doing these three actions. Dana kriya, sharing also. Vividaha kriyante moksha kangshabhi. Why tat? Because in Sanskrit, unless specified, tat stands for Ishvara. Tattvamasi, that tat there stands for Ishvara in the Mahavakya. Therefore, tat, unless specified, is Ishvara. That's why in the Sanskrit language, first person is Prathama Purusha. Prathama Purusha is actually third person. Why? Prathama is the firstborn, is the first form that manifested out of Nirguna Brahman. Therefore, Ishvara, unless specified, it stands for Ishvara. Therefore, even the Sanskrit language is geared with Vedantic understanding. Okay? That's why it's refined language, Sanskritam. Therefore, Tat iti stands for Ishvara. Therefore, Om Tat, when you say Tat, Ishvara Arpanam happens, Prasada Buddhi happens. Therefore, moksha kankshibhi, those who are doing things for the sake of moksha, for their growth, all the way until moksha, they will always remember Ishvara by saying Tat. All right, Om and Tat is fine. What about Sat? What about Sat? Sadbhave sadhubhave cha sadityetat prasajyate prashaste karmani yatha sat shabdam partha yujyate. Sat shabda is used in two senses. Sadbhave sadhubhave cha. Let us say somebody like Shraboni is singing and the audience is informed in Sanskrit, okay, language. They won't say, well done, encore, woo. It's a refined audience, okay? It's a refined audience. Because it's a refined audience, they'll say, sadhu, sadhu. Sadhu means well done. Sadhu, sadhu. In ancient India, this was a word used. Sadhu, sadhu. For refinement in this thing. For indicating something well done. Therefore, sadhu. Sadhu bhave. Or sadbhave in the sense of reality. Satchidananda, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman, that's Sat. It can also be used in any existing. What pot are you talking about? Sangataha, this existing pot, not a pot that I conceived of, this one that is existing here, Sangataha. In the terms of reality it's used. Therefore, Sadityetar Prasujyate. In these two ways, Sat is used. Therefore, Prashaste Karmani Tata Sat Shabda. Therefore, all karma is done because there should be reality in it. He Partha Ujjate. This is how Sat Shabda is used. Therefore, Om Tat Sat is used in this sense. Then for Sat, he is putting one more verse. What is that? Yajne tapase dane cha stitihi saditi uchyate karma chaiva tadarthiyam sadityeva vidhiyate. You have made a commitment. Yajne tapasi dane cha stitihi. You are committed to doing it. Sat, let the commitment be real. Therefore, saditi uchyate. I committed, it is real. It is not just a fancy in my mind. It is reality for me. Therefore, tasya stitihi. Tasya stitihi. Let me be rooted in it. Let me have some nishtha in that karma, in that yajna, dana, tapas, etc. Because yajna, dana is not just once in a way. You do it regularly. Therefore, that regularly. Karma chaiva tadarthiyam. And the karma is also for Sat, the reality. Therefore, sadati abhidiyate. Therefore, you are using the word Sat for that. Sadati abhidiyate. Therefore, in the sense of reality, in the sense of sadhu, being well done. Therefore, by saying Om Tat Sat, what are you doing? You are invoking Ishvara. Therefore, beginning Ishwararpanam, ending also the same thing. All that you have done, Om Tat Sat, let it be reality, let it remain Krishnarpanam astu, Ishwararpanam astu, let it be offered to the Lord. Om Tat Sat indicates that. You can say a verse, Om Purnamada, Purnamidam, etc. Also you can say. But Om Tat Sat iti. Okay. People who know, they will use this expression because it shows a completion to it. Shows a completion to it. Therefore, Om Tat Sat. Completion, reality, it has been offered to Ishvara. Ishvara is remembered before and after, all that. Okay. During, of course, you are dealing with Vedanta. Therefore, it is. What about that which is done without Shraddha, etc.? Therefore, he talks about here. Ashraddhaya hutam daptam tapas taptam kritam chayat asadat iti uchyate partha nattat pretya no iha. Ashraddhaya hutam. Without Shraddha, which is the havan that is done. Dattam, what is given. Tapas taptam, or the tapas that is done. Kritam chayat, whatever is being done. Asad iti uchyate partha, it is called asat. It doesn't have any reality. Nacha tat praitya no iha. Not much of reality here or hereafter. Not much growth, they say. Because what are you? What are you except a bundle of beliefs? Yo yat shraddha saeva saha. Correct, na? Look at it. Right in the beginning, what was the question that was asked? In the 17th chapter, the beginning question was Shastra vidim utsrujya. Giving up, not following exactly all the thing properly. But Shraddhayanvita, which Shraddha is doing. What is that Nishtha? That Nishtha is positive. But if there is no Shraddha, you are following everything. What is the point? What do you mean by Shraddha? See, there is, okay, people do the Surya Upasana. Morning they go and see the sun and worship the sun. But the rainy season is all clouded. But you know it is there. No? You know the sun is there. Do you have to see the sun? Oh, you know it is there. There is a lightning of the clouds there. Therefore, offered, worship is done. Because you know it is there. Shraddha. It is more than just belief. But human beings are nothing but beliefs anyway. Oh, Swamiji, we are all scientific temper. Really? Really? What is scientific temper? In the Western world, if 200-300 years ago, the best scientific minds thought the earth was flat. And the best scientific minds also thought that the sun went round the earth until Copernicus came and changed the whole thing. And the poor guy was imprisoned for that, saying that. 80 years back, we didn't think the atom could be split. The best scientific minds thought atom is the indivisible unit of matter. 80 years back. Then during World War II, etc., the research happened and we split the atom. And all the nasty things came out of it. So what makes you think that all the scientific conclusion today is factual? 100 years from today, everything may be dismissed as irrational. Irrational belief systems of a primitive society. Yoyat Shraddha Saeva. Many things that you take as knowledge, etc., it works for the time being, therefore let us take it as fact. You know what the Shastra says? Because Shastra is a pramana, you don't call it belief system. You call it paroksha jnanam, indirect knowledge. The sun is there, indirect knowledge. You don't see it, but it's there, you know it. Things away from you. There is a place called Gomukh. Have you seen it? No, but you know it is there. Paroksha jnanam it is called. Indirect knowledge. Atma is not indirect knowledge, it is direct, you can verify it. Therefore, Atma is direct knowledge. Other things that is taken as indirect knowledge. That indirect knowledge is what is helpful for Shraddha, for your commitment, for your trust. It is not mere belief system, it is indirect knowledge, so trust in what the Shastra says. Therefore, try it out and see whether it works or not. I'll give you an example. You know, when you have Shraddha, things work out. Like, I do some tarot card reading. This is for the fun of it, okay? Sheer fun. From my standpoint, this is for the fun. But my sister and there are a couple of other people also who have a great trust in it. They say, Bhaiya, please do that reading for me. I'm going through a difficult time. So I'll do a reading. And then after some days they'll come back and say, you know, whatever you said worked out. This is not what I said. Your trust in the cards made me see facts. Because the cards reveal themselves. I'm objective. So I see what is there. I don't put my subjectivity into it. But I'm objective, I see and I tell you what I see. But because you have trusted the reading properly, there are others who come for it just for the fun of it. For them it is the same. Yeah. Now just because I spoke about tarot cards, don't ask me to get it for the camp. Okay, I'm not going to get it. And none of you characters, if any of you are doing tarot cards, don't get the pack. I'm not going to spend all my time doing tarot card reading. Okay. For that there are people like Ravindra Bhatt, etc. who will do a better reading astrologically. Go to them. Okay, go to them. So, this is in terms of that Shraddha. Therefore, the most important thing in any karma, etc. becomes the trust and the faith that you have. Because things to be done, you are never sure. Karma phalam always is later. Therefore, there are 100 things that you can go wrong. All those things are not in your control. Your Shraddha is in your control. Do that. Have that. Your trust, your faith, that is in your hands. Do that. All the little things that you know that you have seen working out helps you have that. With that Shraddha, when you do, things should work out. Even if it doesn't work out, you will grow. That much will happen. Not that nothing happens. The Lord came to this person in a dream and said, I want you to push this rock up the hill. So he got up, he said, oh my God, was this? I was dreaming? It is very vivid. Anyway, I'll take it as a message of the Lord and I will do. And the whole year he tried to push that rock up the hill, nothing happened. The rock was weighing a ton. What can he do as a scrawny human being? He pushed every day for an hour, morning hour, and he was pushing. Nothing happened. So the year was over, he was feeling very dejected. So the Lord appeared to him again. He says, so Lord, I'm sorry. I tried, but I couldn't do it. The Lord laughed. You think I need you to take a rock up a hill? Do you really think I require a human being for that? And what do you mean nothing happened? Everything has happened. Look at your arms, look at your shoulders, look at your chest, look at your back, look at your legs. They become so strong and powerful. What do you mean nothing has happened? You have become strong and powerful. That's what I wanted. So all karma is like that. Whether it works out outside or not, you grow if you have Shraddha. You grow. And that is what we are aiming for in Vedanta. Your growth all the way to moksha. All the way. No reason why it should not work out. So with that, we come to the end of the 17th chapter. Okay. So as usual, Om Tat Sat, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, the Gita, which is like an Upanishad itself, which has got both Brahma Vidya, Atma Jnanam, Yoga Shastra, things to handle your mind, including all these value structure, etc. Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvadi, in the form of a dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yogo Nama, the chapter called Shraddha Traya Vibhaga, threefold Shraddha, the division of Shraddha in a threefold manner according to Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. Sapta Dasho Adhyaya, the 17th chapter has come to an end. So next time we will start the 18th chapter, the last leg. It's a beautiful chapter, it's got a lot of things to say. But we'll see that next time. Good place to stop. Om Tat Sat. Now you know what it means.